this person wants to know, how do I position myself? How do I go about marketing and establishing myself as an expert? I have a master's degree in human services, a bachelor's degree in psychology. I'm certified in hypnosis and meditation instruction. I offer a package at a low cost because I run a nonprofit organization and need to keep our services affordable, even though I've been here for 10 years. I have no growth, I don't know how to market myself, and I haven't necessarily positioned myself as an expert. So she gives a little bit more context, but I want to stop here for 1 second because I appreciated this question so much, and I could feel the intentionality behind it. I also know, after having done this for the last 10 years, that we get down to the brass tacks of what's going on in the room, everyone's like, I just want to help people, Megan. I'd like all of this is an inconvenience to the fact that I just want to help people. And so I want to acknowledge that piece. I'm in a season in my life where I'm really direct and intentional in the feedback that I provide. I love the idea of taking all of those years of education and expertise to be able to deliver it to people who need that support. Here's the thing about a not-for-profit. If I was sitting on the board of the not-for-profit, and I sit on the board of not-for-profits, I still have a fiduciary duty to the donors, a legal duty to the donors, to go, how are we spending our money and how are we making ourselves economically viable? There's two sides to this question here. One, how do I make my not-for-profit viable? Question number two, how do I leverage an incredible depth of education and capacity to help people and actually make that profitable for me in my life? Because one of the things that happens when we start to step into a model that gives us profitability and people are willing to pay us for an expertise, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that suddenly we're like, damn it, I am good at what I do. I am an expert at what I'm talking about. When you sit across from a patient on your very first day, you're like, oh gosh, I hope this works. And when you sit across from a patient after you're 18 months in and 5 years in and 7 years in, you're like, I've got this. Like, throw something new at me because I know how to change people's lives. So I'm going to invite this individual to divide up the elements of their career into two parts. If we want to help and reach more people, we have to innovate our offer, not just lower the price. So if I'm sitting here on the board of that not-for-profit, here's the advice I would give the not-for-profit. If we can't support ourselves financially, we need to find a partner organization where we can find individuals who are highly educated, like this person, who can donate their services through an already established platform. Rather than start from scratch, we need to reconcile what's happening financially. And I would find an organization who would really benefit. That might be a women's shelter. That might be some other type of organization in the community that you can say, listen, here are the programming that we have been running. This is how we've done it for the last 10 years. We're looking for a new home to be able to disseminate that information and that clinical expertise to an audience that cannot otherwise afford what we're doing. So just like we have to bring innovation to the realm of entrepreneurship, we've got to bring innovation to the realm of a not-for-profit context as well. So again, if I was sitting on the board in that room, I'd be like, we got to change something because we've been at this for a while and we're not getting the results that we're looking for. And we're not necessarily driving the demand that we're hoping for. Who can we partner with where this becomes a win-win? I would throw that right back to the leaders of that not-for-profit organization. So all nonprofits also still need to drive revenue. Otherwise, they have to close their doors. And it can't just come through donations because that too is unsustainable. So donations will come into a not-for-profit. If anyone here has sat on a board of a not-for-profit, you might get some donations, but when those donors hand in those donations, they go, how are you also going to drive ongoing cash flow and profitability inside this entity so that people can see the donation that I provided? So there's some rejigging opportunities on the not-for-profit side. In your life in general, one of the things that is afforded to us as we have consistent cash flow and as we have money coming into our businesses and our practices, we are able to donate three things with greater ease. The first thing we're able to donate with greater ease is we're able to give away our money straight up. So when you can support and sustain yourself financially, you put your business or you put your family or put you in a position where you can donate your money to people who are running the not-for-profits over here who are really incredibly good at what they do. So you're afforded that agency to do that with your money. The second thing you're able to do once you have demand coming in and you are taking care of yourself is you can choose where you want to donate your time. It is really hard when you are in the startup phase of your business, when you're trying to find your own lines of profitability and cash flow, to be like, I also have 25 hours a week to volunteer. There's just a practicality you're going to run into because if you haven't yet driven demand, it's really hard to cut the supply. The third piece that you're able to donate to a cause and to individuals is your energy. And I think sometimes the energy doesn't get spoken about when we're looking at building these things. They're like, I'm out of time or I'm out of money, but there's also just your energy to be able to give back to people in a creative way. And so, to this individual who very intentionally and bravely shared their perspective on it, I'd say we've got some division of labor here. One, what are we doing with the not-for-profit? We've got to change something because time's not going to fix it. Time won't fix your business. Time won't fix your health. Time won't fix a not-for-profit. So, time, there's got to be some very strategic changes that come in on that side. And then we split the time and we go, okay, for you as an expert, you've now been working in that realm, you can leverage that realm. For everybody here who's like, I need more clients coming through the door, I want you to really outline 5 core relationships that you can lean into in 2026, where your businesses are complementary, non-competitive. And I don't mean you email the head of HR at that small business or medium-sized business down the street and hope to maybe grab a coffee. I mean you legitimately establish relationships. You legitimately show up at the women's networking event in your town. You take a sincere interest in other people's businesses. You invite people out to lunch on your dime and you ask them, how can I help you? And when you do that with 10, 15, 20 different people, you'll find in there 5 of them where you're like, whoa, there's massive synergy. You lead first and you lead from a place of service and you make it like really sincerely about the relationship. I was thinking about this today in light of a few different conversations I had this week. If I had absolutely no money and I was really looking to establish myself, I would be meeting with people twice a week, looking at how I can be of service with my skills so that we can establish a relationship of reciprocity of win-win. It costs you your time, it costs you your money, but it's a starting point in terms of those pieces. So I want to offer that to this individual. We got to shake things up. I would recommend if she's looking to actually practice, join a clinic, go on a split. If any of you here on a split, I know sometimes you resent clinic owners a little bit. You're like, come on, I just want to earn a little bit more. The beautiful thing about being on a split in a clinic, it is the most low risk way of deploying your skills and earning confidence without you having any overhead. Like your risk when you are on a split in a clinic is as low risk as you can possibly have in the realm of entrepreneurship. And I know sometimes we're like, I want to have autonomy, I want agency, I don't want to have to do it that way. But what the trade-off is, it couldn't be any more low risk for you. You can experiment things, you can try things, all of the above, because you don't have to pay the hydro bill and the taxes and the landlord piece and the da 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 on a monthly basis. So I just wanted to share that piece. That's where I'd start if I had no other resources. I got to put in my time, I got to put in my energy. And I also have to make sure I take things off my plate that aren't driving me forward in my career. I got to reinvent things because we help more people by innovating our offering, not by lowering our price. I just want to close the loop on that. Okay, let's move.